tonight with the January and the February and the special meetings. Then we're going to move into, there's some proclamations, two that I will be reading on behalf of the mayor, and then the one that Councilmember Ventura will be doing before we move into public comments so that we can get the basketball players, their 7th and 8th grade, get them home. They have school tomorrow.
Maybe.
They didn't get a delay today.
Based on him, right?
Pardon me?
Are we getting more lake effect tonight?
Yes.
Not this far south. They keep saying that.
Oh, we're gonna bring it on 7 o'clock, it's supposed to be out of here.
Oh.
What job should you have taken in your life that you can get paid and never be right?
Weatherman.
So, first up tonight is preparing, I am so excited to see this one on here. This is for the right-in, right-out for the access drive for Golden Link crossings. That has been in the works since that development was created. Unfortunately, it ran into some issues with the state. And now the state has said yes. And then we ran into issues with the owners. But now, all the owners,
Right, so yeah, and the state was actually kind enough to waive the LA break fee as well, which was $150,000, so that was nice and made the project a little more palatable. We were, as you know from the last meeting, waiting for BZA to consider the variance request by one of the property owners for their 25-foot dedicated portion of the access road. The BZA did approve those variances. I will ask just to give this a first read tonight, unfortunately, because the dedication plat has not been executed yet by the property owner. I'm trying to set that up currently. We're waiting to hear back from them, so.
does it have to be all of them? Or who owns the property where
It'll be the two property owners, so,
Okay.
yeah, there's the southern property, Cutlick, the northern property, or I'm sorry, vice versa, where Culver's is at.
And Dan from Chick-fil-A has been so instrumental in negotiating with the other developers, the other owners, because they were all kind of, then we got down to 2, was a holdout, and he really, when we get this passed and it started, we have to thank him officially. It's amazing. And if you ever go over there during rush hour or summer, part of this, I've seen the need for it since the beginning, is in the summertime, from the light where you turn left to go into Target, it's backed all the way up into Route 8. Because everybody's going to eat, it's lunchtime, so they're all going to Panera, or to the Corral, or to Culver's, or, you know, all the restaurants in there. And it's become a dangerous situation, because the semis all go that way to turn left to get onto the freeway, so it'll be a good thing. So we'll do first reading.
Yeah, and I should add, Mr. Gelati was kind enough to get a quick turnaround on the updated dedication plat. Otherwise, we would probably be looking at a couple more weeks, so. And he is not here, but he's gonna be here a little bit late tonight. He asked me to let you guys know.
Okey-doke.
I have a.
Mr. Fielding, could you do that one?
I can, I have a question too, though.
Okay.
Go for it.
Why does this have to be an emergency resolution if we're only doing first reading?
When it is passed, maybe not tonight, but maybe the next meeting, hopefully the next meeting, then you can immediately go out and bid it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait 30 days.
Got it, okay.
Explain emergency again.
Yeah, so.
I understand.
the-
You just did.
Well, I understand.
That they're on,
It's not subject to the
A bunch of
referendum.
things,
Yeah, that too.
it's
Yeah.
not that an emergency as you think in your mind. that
Oh, I
we've had a fire,
understand
a
the
tornado,
rules of
or-
that, it's
yeah.
just, I didn't.
It doesn't have to be an emergency if you don't want it to, but then you have to wait.
Right,
30
yeah, I
days.
just wanted to know what the reasoning was.
Yeah, and I should note that this is really just, we're kind of in the middle of the statutory assessment process still. We're gonna have some additional, at least, I think, 2 more pieces of legislation. Once the project's complete, you guys are gonna have to certify the final numbers for the assessment once we know what the actual project costs are. So, part of the process.
How many resolutions have we had about this?
I think this is 3 maybe.
No, there's must have been more.
Good thing.
No, but you'll have the ordinance to proceed, and then you'll have the construction.
Right.
We've already had several. about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you had the resolution of necessity and all that.
It's
jazz.
right up there with the Guadalupe retention basin.
We still want it.
How long and, yeah.
This is just like the in-out, coming out of the gas station up on 82, right? There's no light.
Right in, right out.
Okay.
No light.
And the good part,
I believe.
there is no way to make a left,
Right,
you have the
yeah,
median.
that would be bad.
which
But
they're still
now that
making
you've said
lefts
that,
into
somebody's
the
gonna
gas
try it.
station. Right.
The only additional infrastructure there is gonna be a monument sign, and we're trying to work with an architect right now to get the design down for that and the footing for it, because it's gonna be
Oh.
pretty significant.
Something like the sign that's at the entrance over by all.
Correct, a little bit smaller though, I think 23 feet, something like that.
You guys know if there's a no U-turn sign on 8 North? So that people don't try and go around? There is a no U-turn sign?
Yeah.
Good. That will come in handy.
Won't do it.
You're right.
So they'll
And
have to
what-
get a variance variance for that sign. Because the new sign code that we just had, we limited the height to 16 feet.
Maybe, I don't think the location's set yet, but yeah, I can chat with you after about that if you want.
Any other questions?
No.
So Dave will do number 1. Second one up is for the appointment of, and I can't, Alfreda,
I know Frida, yeah.
Richard Iafrida.
number 19.
And he will not be here tonight, he's under the weather.
He's not feeling well either. So Vinnie, if you would take this one.
I would have loved to be here since I was doing this.
Pardon me?
I says, I wish he would have been here since you signed that to me. You don't know how much flack I've taken from him over other
Oh.
things.
So you could let him know in person.
For those of us who, the 3 of us did interviewing for the council spot, he was one of the applicants.
I wondered why the name was familiar.
Yeah, he was one of the applicants, so
Is that first, second, and third, boss?
I don't see any problem with first, second, and third. It's probably preferred so that if they need any meetings, they've got them in place. And when every applicant, we ask to stay engaged, so it's nice to see they have 2 at the table, more have come on. Okay, the last thing, which we're going to do tonight, Amanda is here because she has accepted the position of corporate counsel. There are still 2 things that have to be done officially, and that is the drug test and the background test. But we'd like to pass this tonight. This obviously will be contingent upon those 2 things. But until this is passed, this way, if it's passed before the next meeting. Mark, you want to explain the necessity?
Yeah, so basically this is, rather than having the mayor making the appointment and council confirm it, because Amanda's gonna be a council employee, you are actually making the appointment, so that's what the legislation does. It sets forth the basic pay parameters. The clerk of council title is effective April 1st. Depending when the background check's completed, could begin working as soon as March 2nd, but that'll probably take a little bit to get that done.
Is this?
Or, I'm sorry, did I have March 2nd in there? I think so.
I don't think that's
That
gonna be
was our
likely.
goal, but we don't think it's realistic.
Yeah, so it'll probably be a little bit after that, so.
The only date in here I see is April 1st.
You just
Yeah.
write March 2020.
Oh,
How's
wait,
that?
March 31 at the top. Oh, that's the retirement date. April 1.
What resolution number is this, do we know?
Pardon me?
20?
20?
20.
Second.
And I'll be doing this since,
You don't need to amend it.
No, that's good.
and Vinnie, I was gonna give it
Did
to
you
you
say it's
because
20?
we have to add it to the agenda. We have to waive the 48-hour rule.
2020.
Okay. I didn't know if resolutions had their own sequence.
No.
How do you pronounce your last name again?
Traska.
Okay, that's what I.
Yes, you got it right. I asked her. She got it right.
Growing up in Northeast Ohio, you learn how to pronounce the names.
Right.
And is it appropriate for us to say Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Okay.
Any other questions about that one?
You're taking that, Jan?
Yes. And any discussion or all in agreement, 1, 2, 3, that way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're
I
very
don't want to put you on the
pleased that you're
spot in
here.
front of Amanda, but 1, 2, 3, folks?
Yeah.
Okay. If you think otherwise, let me know, we'll excuse her. I hate to do it to her. Okay. There is nothing else unless someone has something they want to speak about. like I said, this hopefully, other than all the proclamations, should go pretty darn quick. Mr. Veras, do you have anything you'd like to share on the
No.
budget? I know at some point we want to have our budget meeting. Just-
Well, I guess I can share, I've been working on the 5-year capital, which is a big part of our budget, and updating the numbers for year end. We actually haven't closed January yet because of the issues and complications with implementing the new payroll system.
What we'd like to have is the budget meeting of where we at today, how we doing against that typical, and so do that quarterly before we get into the
Yeah.
2021 monthly meeting.
Maybe before the
Yeah.
March 26th meeting?
Yeah, just let me know, because you got to close out January, right?
Yeah, and I'll be closed out in a couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll close February right after that, so
You're thinking sometime in March?
Yeah, do
26th,
before the 26th, so like the
Before-
19th?
19th if you wanted
That's
just
the,
that.
that's the
ended.
third Wednesday.
That's the
Vinny-
third Thursday.
Vinny
Vinny
can't
can't
do
make
that.
it.
But we can do it,
How long do we need?
We usually schedule 2 hours,
Okay.
just so that we make sure any questions you have.
Right.
what about the 10th, the Tuesday before?
I
Anyone?
see everybody pulling
Is
out
that,
there.
is that early enough? I mean, is it too early for you?
No,
I'm good on the 10th.
What about the 10th, Tuesday the 10th? I guess I should look. I'm looking at that calendar. That's not my calendar.
not sure about the mayor's schedule though.
That's true.
Yeah, so let's
That's far enough
tentatively
advance.
set for the 10th at 6:30. But that's
Josephine?
I'm
tentative.
listening.
Amanda? Okay.
I'm listening.
The
Why
10th.
don't you put a secondary date in there just in case he's not available?
Yeah,
Right.
that's our first date.
Well, you don't want the 17th.
No,
No,
well, it's not
Because it's
St.
voting
Patrick's
day.
Day. It's voting.
It's voting day, is that why, John?
Who was the person who decided that?
Did you say 6:30?
Yes.
Okay.
That way gives people time to get, so
That
if we don't
Wednesday-
do the 10th,
That Wednesday is, I'm
The
also.
11th?
The 11th?
why
I
don't you
won't
check
be
with
here,
the
but that
mayor?
one doesn't make any difference.
Yeah,
So it's not till 6:30 then?
Yeah.
yes. So put on your calendar the 10th and the 11th, and Mr. Veers will confirm with me, and we'll get a notification out. Josephine will send a note out. And then you will, are you gonna pre-send or pass it out that night?
I could present.
Okay, so be on the lookout. Get your printers ready for a lot of paper.
No,
No, don't say that, because then he ends up printing it out, and
I'll
then
print
we all
it
have.
out because then the colors are nice and
Oh,
pretty.
that's right.
And he always
does
makes-
use co-
You do a
He
good
always
job.
makes a change, like the minute before,
Right
and then
before.
everything
he
we print out
uses
is wrong.
colors.
So don't print them out.
Your colors were
Yeah, don't print them.
instrumental, and I didn't have them last time.
Yeah, that way you'll have it. What we try to do with the budget is have a quarterly summary of how we're doing against the budget. Are there any issues to worry about? Luckily, the economy right now is still holding firm. Nobody knows what's going to happen with the virus and its impact, which may impact overall income at some point in the country. They don't know. But then we try to start in September for the 2021, because my goal always is to have a permanent budget adopted before the end of the year. The other option is you can do a first quarter budget, but
No,
why do it twice if we can do it?
That's too much math. That's extra math.
that's extra now.
Yeah.
Please,
You divide everything
always
by
fine
seven.
over
On
two.
this
Okay.
payroll system, are we working the bugs out of this yet?
Yeah, we are 95% there.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the accruals were loaded today, so from the beginning of the year, sick time and all that, comp time, vacation.
Was it just hiccups, or were
No, it's-
employees having problems getting paid?
No, nothing with the pay,
Okay.
just with a bunch of rules in our service department. Sorry.
What about police and fire? Who,
Yeah.
Police and fire are smooth.
He just threw you under the bus somehow.
Well, they had to.
Yeah,
They had to. If they, once they get through service, everything else will be a breeze.
Yeah.
There are a lot
I
of.
mean, there are a lot of
Details.
nuances, especially with night shift and
which ends soon.
You're
Yeah.
talking about the contract?
Yes.
Let's hold that for executive when the mayor's here. That's usually not spoken about.
I wasn't saying contract.
No, it's not bad, it's
I
just
know,
the-
but we all
getting the
kind of
parameters
know.
in.
No,
all.
that's not what I implied.
All right,
Oh,
as
yeah.
long as we can have that
I was
update.
just implying they have a lot of rules. Like if you're trimming a tree, you get $2 extra an hour. That's one example.
Don't hit my house, that's all. I'll take
So
it.
you're trying to build that into your program
Right.
and create a
Anything
job
else?
for tree trimming.
Is the police chief here?